everybody. Welcome. Why is this? My voice is so high pitched. Sorry. Hey, welcome. This video today is a video that's gonna talk about France. Yes, liberté. Why? Because my family is coming to see me in a few days. My little brother and my baby brother and my mom are coming, and I'm so excited. I haven't seen them for like 4 years or something like that. So I'm so excited about that. And I was like, oh, let's do a video about France and what I like, what I miss about France, what I don't miss. Let's do a nostalgia video. Let's. Okay, so the things I like most about France, obviously my family, my friends, my girlfriends. I miss not being there for them and seeing, their growth, seeing their babies and seeing their toddlers and, being so far away. And I see everything through social media, but it's different, because I've lived all my formative years in France. So I've made like great friendships, and that I'm so glad that actually some of those friendships are still friendships to this day. Obviously, they have evolved because we can't talk all the time, but when we do, it's like nothing has changed, and there's no like pressure or like expectation of like you should do this or you should do that. So, um, so I'm just seeing the notification. I'm like, ooh, I'm having a photo shoot. Okay, that's cool. Anyway, so yeah, I miss my friends a lot and my family. Obviously, I haven't seen my niece. Like my older brother had a baby 2 years ago now. I haven't seen her more than 2 years ago, I think. And I haven't seen her, and I'm like Auntie Eunice that lives overseas, but it's really hard. So I miss definitely that. Um, the second thing I miss the most is the food. Oh God. So I know what you're saying, what you're thinking. Maybe French food is actually, when you really think about it, and since I've been here and I've tried Vietnamese food, which is my favorite, Mexican, I've tried Indian, Chinese, Greek, like Turkish, like, I mean, here the food is like amazing, all right? So in France, we only have French food. And when you really think about it, it's more the quality of the produce than the actual like taste and everything that's good in France. But what I miss the most is obviously the pastries. The pastries are amazing. We're known to be the best, like pâtissier. Pastries are amazing. But I miss the most is the charcuterie and the fromage. Like here, you can find some, like with the Italians. Thank God for the Italians. But still, oh, mon petit apéro, the little apéro that we have with a little bit of wine, and cheese and real bread, not crackers like here. And you say crackers or crackers? I don't want to offend anybody. And real bread, and then you have like, oh, and then you have charcuterie and cheese. Oh my gosh, I miss that so much. Like I will go crazy for things like that. Like it's really ridiculous. Like sometimes my partner is like rolling his eyes, like you don't understand what it means to have good cheese and good charcuterie. I love it so much. I miss that for sure. I miss the rituals that we have around food in France. Like it's really like it's almost sacred. You take time to eat and you eat good produce. Um, when I was projecting myself in the future and seeing my me and my son, I asked my partner, "What do you eat at school? Like when you're in Australia?" And it's like, "Oh, you have like a lunchbox with like all those little things." And I'm like, this is child abuse. Like, how can you feed your kid like that? No, like, because in France, since we're in kindergarten, we learn how to eat properly 3 course meal. Like, like, and we have good ingredients. We learn from a young age how to develop a palate. We good with that. Here, oh my gosh, the food. No, I was just like, I almost cried. I was like, I can't let my son have this kind of food when he goes. Oh no, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be that mom that's gonna be really like complicated, but I don't care. I want my son to have real food. So this is something here that I'm really like. They don't really care about food that much, Australians. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see what's gonna happen with the lunchbox situation. Third thing that I miss about France is the architecture. So France and Europe in general, it's quite old. It has centuries and centuries. It means that you're gonna find monuments. You're gonna find even walking the streets, like the cobblestone and all that. It's like really you can feel the history in when you're walking, and I don't know if it makes you feel like more grounded in the present because there's this long past. um, I really like that. And here, though, it's super young. I mean, white Australia is super young because we all know that Australia is actually black and the land is always Aboriginal, hasn't been given but stolen, right? So, white Australia, they've been here since 1788, if I correct. So everything is like pretty new. You look at the major like architectural stuff, like the Opera House, um, which is really beautiful. It's great. Harbour Bridge and Anzac Bridge, really beautiful too. I have to say, I think they do really great bridges here in Australia. I have to say, but except from that, there's not a lot of huge landmark. That in France you have all those big cathedral, all those churches, and then even like walking in like little villages. Everything is so cute and pretty and like old, and I love it. I miss that a lot. I miss that. And I think here, like everything is so new that I don't know. But at the same time, here I feel like people are more forward thinking. They are less restricted by the past in a way, especially in everything that has to do with progress and economy and technology and all that. Especially financial technology are pretty good with that here in Australia. Uh, the last thing I miss is the social comfort. So obviously, in France, you have a lot of like benefit, healthcare, and then social benefits and all that. Here also you have them too, if you're Australian. But if you're not, But because I'm French, um, I'm about to be Australian soon. But because I'm French, obviously, I think about France and the fact that you don't have to think about going to the hospital or going to the doctors or all this kind of thing. That here until like recently, I had to pay for everything, which is okay to me, but it's just like annoying. So I miss that, obviously, the social comfort and all that. Um, yeah, and I think that's it. That's what I miss really about friends. I think so. If there's other things, I will do another video. Now, let's be fair and let's talk about the things I don't necessarily miss about friends, but that I do like here. First thing is the philosophy around work. So in France, it's so hard to find a job because there's so many laws around work. So when you are an employee, you are really protected, which is good. So people can't fire you like that a day to the next. I mean, here too, but in France, it's really like it's not only like really expensive to employ someone, it's really restrictive. And so I think a lot of employers are really afraid of that. Are really like, ugh. But then when you're an employee, once you have a long-term contract, you're like, you're Gucci, you're good, like it's for life, and there's this fear of like changing jobs because it's so hard to find another one. Then here, sorry, I have reflux. It's the life of a pregnant woman. Here, the philosophy around work is a little bit more flexible, and I think there's more jobs, so it's easier to move from a job to another, and the pay is better as well. So I found something that I really like here. The fact that I can do a lot of multiple jobs, and it's really interesting. I love that. And I don't like that about friends. Second thing, talking about the laws in France. How come like employees are so protected? It's because people go down in the streets and like claiming their rights. So French people love being on strike, and it's part of the history of France. I mean, they killed their king, they hate they hate power, and it's part of their history. And they got really good things happening because of the strike, because of going down the street and be like, yes, we're claiming our rights and all that. So I can't say that I'm against protesting. I'm all for protesting. Uh, but it's actually a little bit annoying when they're blocking everything, you know. And if I compare to how people do things here, people here, I don't think they are complaining as much as in France. Obviously, when it comes to politicians, they are really more tough on their politicians, and I think it's because voting is mandatory in France. Sorry, in Australia. So if you don't vote, you get a fine. So obviously, it gives you more incentive to be like involved in the political life. If vote is mandatory and I vote for you, mate, you better give me a result. If you don't, I want someone else, and that's how they think. So there's a lot of since I've been here, there's a lot of prime ministers have been changing. Like the musical chairs, and people are not happy about a guy. The party most of the time move the guy, and there's someone else. So in a way, it's great because it means that politicians are accountable and they need to listen to the people. But at the same time, what are you supposed to put in place in a few like years or months? You know what I mean? It's like nothing gets done. So yeah, so that's like a little bit like annoying. That in France, at least, no, not even in France. Like, I mean, they stay for 4 years, but I don't know. Like, they have the time to wreck the country in 4 years. And then after the other politician that comes after him is going to destroy everything else. Well, it's like everywhere, I guess. But the strikes that immobilize everything and all the public services in France, it's really annoying. Like trains are blocked, like buses, oh, planes, like it just makes life hard for everybody. And it's you support them for a while for like probably 2 or 3 days, and then after you're like, dude, like I need to go to work. Like it's terrible. So that's the thing like I don't like about France. But again, I like the fact that French people are really like, fuck that, we're going to the streets and we're just gonna protest. I like that. It's just like the the consequences of the strike that's a little bit annoying that I don't like. And the last thing I don't like about France that I like here in France it's really high maintenance in terms of look. Like you can't go down the street to go buy a baguette without being dolled up. And that here, I so don't care how I look like when I go out. Like seriously, like, and in Sydney intramuros, you can go barefoot buying stuff, like especially if you live in an area that's close to the beach, or even I was living in an area called Waterloo. There's no beach around, but people were like walking barefoot to go to the supermarket, and I was just like, what the heck is that? But I love that people don't care about how you look and what you're wearing, like, and it's super freeing. That I feel like in France, it's like you have to look at how you look like, or people are going to look at you, and it's like I don't know. Here, people look at you, but they smile at least. So it's like, hey, like in France, it's so like judgmental, and I really don't like that. Like, I don't miss that at all. So yeah, but except from that, you know, um, France is beautiful country in terms of landscape and all that, in terms of culture, really interesting country. Obviously all the countries that have colonized other countries are problematic, but it's a beautiful country, I have to say. There's a really beautiful villages and all these kind of things. So if you want to go to France, avoid Paris at the moment because of the strikes and all that. But go to the south of France. That's where I'm from. It's beautiful. And yeah, so I hope you like this video. If there's some things that you like about France or you don't, like, we can discuss about it. It's not because you come from a country and you love this country that you can criticize it a little bit. It's totally fine to me. That's what I think. I will do another video about French words that Australians here can't pronounce. It's hilarious. So I will do that pretty soon, so stay tuned. Bye bye.